Rightio. Okay, guys, welcome to my webinar, Break Through the BS, Transforming and Triumphing as New Age Business Titan. Okay. So I'll get stuck into it. Oh, don't tell me that's not going to work. Okay. Rightio. So for those who don't know me or know much about me, my business, Double T Marketing, it's Double T Marketing, and I've got another one, Double T Coaching, but I sort of in the middle of classifying them both as one, so Double T Marketing and Coaching. The family owned and run social media marketing and coaching agency, which is owned by myself and my wife, Kat, and we offer a wide range of services with social media marketing, so branding, content creation, copywriting, done for you content creation courses, which I haven't got on there, social media marketing and management, and online business startup courses. I did actually have it there, sorry. And then with the coaching and training side, we actually do social media coaching. So we teach businesses their social, like more aspects of social media for those who are a bit overwhelmed, unsure, and don't know the full aspects of it. We do personal and business breakthrough sessions for business owners and people who are stuck in the mold, business startup coaching, and a bit of mindset coaching. So yes, now we'll move forward. Well, the clicker's not working. Here we go. All righty, so getting stuck into it. So with this webinar, it's all about like social media and different aspects of it, like that people face on a day to day. So the first part is platform overwhelm. Now, this webinar content has come from my experience with talking to different business owners and different people and what they face and what they've sort of mentioned to me in different aspects. So overwhelm with the platforms is one major thing. So a lot of people find the struggle, what platform do I want to be on? What platform should I be on, etc. So with the effects of overwhelm, it obviously, like when we get overwhelmed, we go, okay, yeah, we'll put that on the back burner on the to-do list later on, but we never get back to it. It's actually causes us to push things aside and not really come back to them. Causes us to create excuses. Now, we're all guilty of this. We all make excuses for different things. Now, choosing the right platform causes a lot of this. Now, like with so many different platforms, there's different people out there in this industry, in this area that will tell you you've got to be present on every single platform. I disagree with that because there's no point being on a platform and putting your efforts into a platform where your ideal audience or your target audience are not present. So how do you know where your target audience is? Well, after you've worked out who your target audience is, your niche, and you're still not sure on the platforms, I suggest testing all the platforms. And from there, finding the one that actually suits you and your business the best. So it's not a big effort to do that. It can be time consuming because as with everything, social media isn't an overnight quick fix thing. It is it takes time. So choosing the right platform, a bit of experimenting goes a long way. But obviously the main platforms, Facebook, Instagram, they're the main platforms everyone's on. And TikTok is another large one. LinkedIn, well, the big four: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. But it's just a matter of trial and error, really, finding where your audience is. So understanding the platform structures is another one that causes overwhelm for people because they're all different. As we know, anyone who's experienced all the platforms realize that they're all different. They all work in different ways. And that can be mind-boggling. Now, it was mind-boggling to me quite some time ago. First time I came across, looked in at Instagram and started on Instagram, I sort of looked at it and I went, okay. Yeah, I threw that in the too hard basket and I'll come back to it later. So, yeah, it's one of those things that understanding the structures. And at the end of the day, Instagram wasn't that hard. Like, well, I didn't find it that hard in the end. It was just a matter of, okay, at the time it was, okay. But As I said, they're all easy enough. It just takes a little bit of time. And if you're not sure, and you just get someone to explain it to you, someone who knows a bit about it. So, yeah, with your audience, as I said, you need to find your niche audience, your niche market, and figure out where they are. And honestly, for most people, Facebook is going to be the main platform where your audience is, depending on the business you're in, of course. Some businesses would be more successful on a platform like LinkedIn. Some might be a bit more successful on a platform like TikTok or Instagram, depending on who your audience is. Your goals and objectives, and where you want, what you want, is going to help you with a lot of that too, and your personal comfort. And the type, well, I've already mentioned the business type, the type of business you've got is going to reflect a lot on what platform you're going to be on. It's as I said, it all comes down to a bit of a trial and error, because we don't all know exactly straight away what platform is best. If we're already in business and we start a new business in something completely different, we've got to learn it all over again, in a sense, like learning out where our audience lie. So content creation, now this is another big one that does cause setbacks for people. So different things like the relevance to the business. Now, I'll run through that. Relevance to business, type, content, quality, quantity, message being delivered, the creation tools and programs, batching, content calendars. Now, the relevance to the business. Now, quite often I do see content on business pages that aren't relevant to the business. Now, there's content you can put up that's not relevant, and there's content you can put up that's not relevant, that shouldn't be up there. What I mean by that is, what's an example? If you've got a photography business and you're posting about motor cars, automotive, it's not really relevant to the business unless it's regarding like photography shoots of automotive cars. But there's content you put up that might not seem relevant to a business, but it's an engagement content type. It's an engaging type of content, which is aimed at getting your followers to engage with you. Obviously, its type of content is pretty much the same sort of thing, I guess, but keeping it relevant to your business is the most important thing. And there's a lot of scope where you can keep your relevance, but also adding value to your clientele and to your followers. Depending on the type of business, you might offer them tips and tricks. An accountant might, for example, offer tips on easier ways to prepare all their stuff come tax time, so the accountant doesn't have such a big job. And it's just figuring out what your business, figuring out what your clientele and your audience might really want, what they'll benefit from. Because the more value you can give them, and the value is in, as I said, in lots of different forms, the more value you can give your clientele, the more relevance to your business, the more chance you've got of keeping those people there and following you. And obviously, getting in the long run, your end goal is to getting customers from them. Quality and quantity. So quality meaning, obviously, quality is a lot of imagery I see on people's pages is cut and paste off the internet. That is one of the biggest unprofessional no-nos you should do with your business. Having a quality image is paramount, really, to the appearance of your business. Now, the old saying, we've all heard the old saying, first impressions are a lasting impression. So the first impressions people get from your page is going to determine whether they stay there and follow you or not. Quantity, a lot of people are very hit and miss. They'll post randomly once in a blue moon here and there. You need to be consistent with your content on your pages. Now, I'm not saying you need to post 5, 7 days a week. If you want to post once a week, that's fine. That's entirely up to you. But as long as you post once every week and try and post on that same day, ideally posting 3 times a week would be, I would sort of classify that as a minimum. When I say 3 times a week, that's like 3 days, one post 3 days a week as a minimum. And these days you can schedule posts anyway. It doesn't take a lot of time and effort to create content. Further down, I've got batching there, but which we'll quickly touch on. But you can organize your content ahead of time. You can schedule it. So you sit down, you schedule on a Sunday afternoon, you sit down, you schedule it for the week. And yeah, you don't have to worry about it again for the week. It's not like you need to sit there every day for hours every day trying to figure out your content you want to post up and how to post it and all that. So, but just being consistent is a major part of things as well. And your message being delivered, obviously it comes back to the relevance to your business and what message you're actually wanting to deliver to your clientele and to your followers. You know, different businesses obviously doing different things. Like a product-based business, you're going to be delivering a lot of messages about the product you're trying to sell or products you're trying to sell. Service-based business, obviously, you're going to set different services you offer. So, the creation tools and programs, this is one place that people do get stuck. For creating general posts, like what I call static posts, so just like an image, I highly recommend Canva. I don't get anything for recommending them. I just recommend it because it's a great platform. But most people are using Canva anyway. They've got an amazing free the free program. It gives you a lot of scope to do things, and obviously if you go into the paid version you get a lot more, but anyway, so Canva is probably the best one I'd recommend for creating static content. But then when you got if you want to do videos and different things, do your own videos, there's many different platforms and programs and apps that you can use. Personally, I use two on my phone. I use InShot or CapCut. Now there's quite a few different ones, but they're ones that I'd sort of suggest. It's just a matter of learning and playing around with them. Best thing with Canva, I come back to Canva, best thing with Canva though is you can actually optimize. When I say optimize, you can size your content to the platform you want. Now, as a general rule of thumb, if you're going to post on a few different platforms, so you're going to post, say you're going to post on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, for example, like a still post, static post, I would highly recommend just doing it in 1080, which is Instagram post size. And that'll go across all three platforms without having to resize anything. It won't look out of place. It won't be cutting anything off. It'll fit on all three platforms, piece of cake. Batching. Now, batching, when I say that, is creating multiple pieces of content in one hit, which you can do in Canva. There is a feature there. I think it's only in the paid version, in the pro version, which is called Bulk Create. But if you're creating some content in Canva, you get a template, and so you're just going to do some quotes. It's the easiest one to think of the top of your head. You want to do a bunch of quotes, and you find a template. You can just duplicate the page multiple times and just change your quote up. You use a quote template and just change your quote up, for example. You might create 30 pieces of content in 15 minutes, if that. And then you just batch 30 pieces of content that you can use over the next couple of months. You're not going to use them every single day or all like every week. Probably use one a week sort of thing, but that gives you batch content for the next couple of months. Content calendars. It's a good idea to use a calendar of sorts. Now, I think I've actually got a little gift for you guys that are on here anyway. I've got a content calendar. I think I've got a content calendar on there to give you. If not, if I haven't got that on the list, I've already just said it, so I will. Using a content calendar to jot your nut out your content in advance. So that'll give you something to run by, and you know what you're going to schedule, post, create ahead of time. And that's a good way of getting things sorted and keeping you on track and helping you with your creation of your content. It took me a long time to use a content calendar. I don't use it every single day as myself because I've got my assistant, that Rochelle, who's on here, that does a lot of it, but I know she uses a content calendar. So, and it is a good, wise move to use one. Okay, so we're moving on. Right now, this one is one that scares the crap out of a lot of people. AI. Now, AI, I'll admit the first time I came across it, I was like, yeah, righto. I'm not sure about this, but it is actually quite amazing. It's a very good tool to have. Now, as I said, people are scared of it because they think it's going to take us over and not going to need for us anymore. And especially in like a lot of industries like manufacturing type industries and that, they're scared of AI taking over, like AI technology taking over and losing jobs. I'll use the mining industry, for example. They're starting to, like that for years, they've been starting to implement remote controlled mining equipment. Now, people think, oh, well, they're losing jobs, but what's happened, they still need someone to operate that. So they're taking an operator out of that piece of equipment, out of that truck or that bulldozer, and putting them in a room, basically with a gaming machine, like with joysticks, and they're operating that machine from there. So there's still going to be work there regardless, but it's not a bad thing. Too, people are very scared of it, and I think a lot of the conspiracy theorists play into it and go overboard with it personally. But yeah, it's just tech. It's just the way we evolve, I guess. The benefits of AI, as to me, I'm no expert, not an expert on AI by any means, but from what I've learnt with it, as I said, at first I was a bit skeptical of it. Took me a bit to get used to using it, but I love it. It is really good. So benefits are of AI, it can save you time, especially no matter what you do. Like for me, with the social media marketing coaching, it helps me save time in coming up with content, like thinking of content from scratch. I'll use I use Chat GPT a lot. I think a lot of people who do use the AI, like AI programs, do use Chat GPT. They've got a good free version. I use it personally as an inspiration. I'll punch in to what I'm actually after, and it'll spit out what I ask for. But then I'll go through and I'll tweak it and put my spin on it, put my words in there. But there's a lot of people that don't. They'll actually use it and post up, like take what it actually says and post it up straight up. I know people use it to write ebooks, to write books, to write reports. There's lots of different things you can use it for. Pretty much anything, like, and it's like this is the part of AI I know is like is the copywriting side of it. A lot of people are using it for image creation. I haven't gone down that road yet. I haven't even had the interest in going down that road as yet. Now that, as I said, it's not a hard thing to use. Chat GPT, if you haven't used it, it is quite easy. It looks a bit daunting, but it is quite easy. But it's just a matter of with that, if you want to write some copy for a post, for example, on your social media or a blog post, it's just a matter of putting into it what you're actually wanting from that. And if it doesn't give you exactly what you want, you've got to look at just retweak what you've written in there. If it gives you can even ask it to change the tone. So if it's really sounds really formal and high, like a really upmarkety sounding text copy that it spits out, but you want something a bit more laid back for the general person, just ask it to rewrite it in a more laid back, casual tone, and it will rewrite that whole entire copy in a different tone. Another thing too is treating it like it's a person. I know it sounds silly, but treating it like it's a person saying please and thank yous, it probably gives you better copy if you start using your please and thank yous. Probably gives you a bit better service, so to speak. It sounds a bit weird, but yeah, I think it does. Well, tools there, as I said, there's Chat GPT. There are a couple others with sort of the copy side of it. I don't use. What have I done here? Sorry, I've just. I don't use. Oh, there was another one. I'll see if I can find it in a moment. But there was Chat GPT is about the best one that I've used. I did have another one that I did use originally, but it's I found Chat GPT a lot easier to use. So moving on. So fears, doubts, obstacles, and barriers. Now, this is one big thing that people face, and I'm sure everybody can agree with it. This first one, fear of failure. How many of us have actually feared failure? I know I have, and I know a lot of people do, and they use that as an excuse not to progress with something. But in all reality, failure should be embraced, not feared, because failure, we learn from our failures. We learn from things we fail at, things that don't go right, things we do wrong. We learn from that. We move on, we improve and get better at it. How many of the, like, no successful business person or entrepreneur ever got it right first time. Everyone failed at some point. Negativity is a big thing that we get, and a lot of the time it comes from the unexpected people around, unexpected places, and people like our close friends and family. You want to go and do something that's out of the ordinary. The first thing a lot of close friends and family will do is run it down. No, don't be so silly. Don't be stupid. That won't work. And us being like human nature is we go, okay. So we listen to all the negativity and we don't do what we want. So that's one of the things that we face, that we've got to, you've got to turn it around, turn it into a positive. If someone's, and it is a hard thing. Had to do this myself when close family has been so really negative about something we've wanted to do, that they just kept saying, no, you're bloody stupid, you're bloody stupid. We ended up having to distance ourselves from that close family. Otherwise, we would have never have done what we wanted to do. And looking back, it's the best thing we did do, because otherwise we wouldn't have got to the places we've gotten to. It is a hard thing to do at times, but sometimes it has to be done. Now, skepticism with the digital world, there's still a lot of skepticism around there, especially people, and I'll go say people in my age bracket, because we grew up in a pre-digital world. No mobile phones, no computers, no internet. All of a sudden, all this technology around me, oh, geez, okay. And so many people are still very skeptical of it. But it's something that does cause a lot of doubt, and it does cause obstacles for us to get by. So realistically, the digital world, it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. It is the way of the future and is only going to get more and more digital. So we've got to embrace that too. To sort of on this a bit earlier, just a moment ago, every expert was once a learner. No one came into the world being an expert at anything. You've got to learn. We learned to walk. None of us came out of the womb walking. Although I've come across some people who believe that they did. Yeah, baby steps. We've got to learn. We've got to learn to crawl before we walk. We've got to do all that. Just be patient and don't let it hold us back. You've got to be patient with things that take time. Obviously, our mindset and thoughts are something that holds us back too. Being our human nature is we think the worst of things. It's not a bad thing. It's just the way, I guess the society has been that way for many years in the past, that you do things a certain way. And when change happens, people are scared of it. And that's just the way, as we're growing up, we learn all these things. That's how our mind is filtered and wired, that we believe what we see, what we learn. We learn from our parents, we learn from our bosses, we learn from our teachers, we learn from people around us. So while we're in that mindset, we've got to turn that mindset around and start thinking in a more open, positive way. And everyone who does that moves, like, progresses forward even more so. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying anything against people who are stuck in that mindset that they can't move, it's bad, and that it's not a bad. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It is. It's the way we are led to believe, and it can be changed, but it's just a time-consuming process to change that. Persistence is another one, because that's something we don't do a lot of the time. We don't do. Things get tough. What is the saying? When things get tough, tough get going. So once things start getting tough, we usually throw in the towel. We've got to persist at it, stick to it, keep going. Driving it. Yeah, keep persisting and persevering at what we want to do, and don't let those fears or doubts, barriers, or anything like that stand in our way. One of the biggest things you could do, I believe, is when you have these fears and barriers and doubts, and that is getting a good support network around you, people who have been through it and gotten through it and found their way through, will help you get through it. Now, anybody who is decent, who is actually in the business and who has gone through a lot of fears, doubts, and faced a lot of obstacles, they will help other people get through it. So you want to find those people, have them as a support network, ask for help. Don't ever be afraid to ask for help, because people, it's one of the things that another thing that's wired into us, we don't like to ask for help. It's shy. Apparently it's a sign of weakness. I know for blokes back in like in my era, back in my day, it was a sign of weakness to ask for help. It's not. Um, and like expert assistance and guidance and help, again, yeah, like sort of, um, if there's deeper seated issues, help just to get those cleared out, and that. So, but a support network is of the utmost importance, and you don't have to be sort of in each other's pockets. Like being in the right Facebook group, or around the right type of people that you associate with once a month, or you might be into the business networking scene. They're the type of support network that you want to be. Sorry, want to be around, want to have around. Okay, moving on. All right, well, that was it. I didn't think that we got to that. Oh, that was pretty quick. All right, we're at that point. Has anybody got any questions? If there's any questions about any of that, by all means, take yourself off mute and ask away. No? Good. Okie dokie. All right. Now that went through a bit quicker than I thought. So anyway, what I want to offer all you guys that are on here, I want to offer you guys what's here on the screen. So what I'm going to do, you all get a record copy of this webinar. I'll shoot through a replay. Now I'm going to also send you through a content calendar, 100 post ideas, which will help you create your posts and what have you. Give you lots of different ideas. Now, mind you, like the whole 100 might not be appropriate or suitable for your business, but there are a lot in there that can be tweaked to suit pretty much any type of business. And one free consult session. So these are value of these freebies that I'm going to give you. I'll send out to you in an email. Now with the consult session, it can be anything. Like these are usually 45-minute consult session. I don't know why I didn't put that in there, but it could be anything you want to have a consult. It could be around the social media. It could be around the mindset side of things. More than happy. So you guys will receive all that in an email. One more thing I think I did have. Yeah, okay. So what else? What other? I do have one other thing. I might actually. What I'm going to do is take this off share, and I'm going